authentic you become, the more the universe knows where you are and who you are. So it can give you what it is that you need when you need it. Authenticity is a more magnetic energy, also be a very repelling energy. It repels the wrong people and it attracts the right people. The most obvious layer to authenticity is speaking your truth. And speaking your truth is one of the most powerful things you can do. When I reflect on one of my first times of healing, it was when I told my story for the first time. I moved energy. When you have trauma, if you don't talk about it and you keep it hush hush, you keep it a secret and you pretend like everything is all figured out and I'm perfect, and yet deep down you're like crushed. Literally go home and self-sabotage and rip yourself to pieces. That is because you have suppressed for so long that it actually starts to build ridges. It starts to build these belief systems, these fears, this energy that's so heavy on your soul. We were not meant to keep things to ourselves. We were meant to liberate, to let go, and to also receive. Authenticity is about speaking your truth when you feel called to. It is really important to know your audience as well. So for example, last year, one of my dear friends brought up my childhood trauma in front of a group of people, and I had to share and talk about the trauma, though I didn't really want to, but I felt like I was kind of put in that situation because I'm not just going to leave my trauma out there. There were certain people in that space who just, no matter what I would do, no matter like anything, they just did not like me. They were one of those type of people where they just automatically don't like you just for being you. And that happened. Left that place, I was told that I wasn't welcome to be a part of their group because I apparently wasn't authentic enough. It made me realize like who you tell your story to is crucial if you are not at a place that is stable. If you are at a place that is stable and you truly have come to that authenticity where you're like, here I am, and this is what I've learned in my process, then absolutely tell it to the world. If you're doing it because you want to move energy, absolutely do it. But just remember, the more stable you are, the better it's going to be in the process. You have to do a meditation or you have to do some like self-love work after you share. I think that that's really important too. Knowing who you are in every essence. So for example, knowing what you stand for. Do you say yes when you really mean yes? Do you say no when you really mean no? Because if you're one of those people who tend to go where everybody else goes and you're just following because everybody else is doing it, that is not authentic. So many people who are, who've got this great following, but yet when you actually get to know them, they're probably some of the most judgmental people. It doesn't matter how many likes or how many followers somebody has, you have no idea how they gained those followers. They might have gained it somewhat authentically, or maybe they gained it through manipulating energy, or maybe they were like me and I gained my followers through modeling, right? I didn't actually gain my followers through what I do now. It's really important to never judge people based on stuff like that. What truly feels aligned for you. Authenticity is also knowing when not to speak. And I say this because authenticity can sometimes be, I don't feel like talking today. I'm going to actually take actionable steps to move away from somebody, maybe somebody who crossed a boundary with you, right? Maybe this person crossed a boundary with you and they did something that felt kind of hurtful in your heart. And you voiced what they did, or you voiced what your boundaries were, and then they disrespected you. That is where you take actionable steps. You don't have to tell everybody and try to control the room with how to treat you, but you show people with your actions. You move away when people don't respect you. Or if you are judging someone based on doing a bunch of things that you disagree with a lot, and if you choose to be around that person and continue to judge them, that's not a them problem. Even if they're doing negative things to themselves, if you're the one who's judging that person, that becomes your problem, and you actually start mixing your energy with that person. So it's important that you step into a level of authenticity, that you know yourself so strongly that you do not put up with things that you don't agree with. Like, what are your values? What are your boundaries? You really get clear on those things. It's not voicing out of control. It's voicing out of an empathetic, loving way. Like, I love myself so much that my peace matters. And who you have around in your circle, if they are always attacking you, or always something negative to say to you, or always going through some sort of crazy drama, what does that say about your boundaries? What does that say about what you choose to let into your field? Being authentic isn't about not wearing makeup or dressing a certain way. Being authentic is more so around, do you feel like you have to hide every single day behind a mask? Or are you okay with having like whatever feels aligned for you in that moment? Because it is okay to wear makeup, and it is okay to, want to dress up or be a certain way sometimes. But is that controlling you, right? Like, are you trying to hide? Or are you authentically wanting to express yourself that day? The more authentic you become, the more in your power you become, you naturally start to offend others. And this isn't something that's done intentionally or done because you are being mean. It's like, no, like the more that you stand in your power, the more you set boundaries, the more that you know what your values are, and the more that you start to just feel into what feels right for you, you're gonna offend some people. Like people who have unhealed things in them, you're gonna shine your light on what's not healed in their field. What is true for you is what is true for you. No one else. Do not let anybody else tell you what is authentic for you. And by the way, I am not in any way, shape, or form talking about anyone right now. I want you to just listen to the message behind the words. I know that there's a lot of beautiful souls who are sharing their stories, and I don't want you to think that I'm talking about you, because I am absolutely not. I just felt really called to share authenticity, because for me, what I've found is that authenticity has many layers. And the more that I started to understand this, the more in depth that I got with, oh wow, there's another layer to speaking your truth. And it's like knowing your truth, knowing who you are, like to the core, embracing your uniqueness. I think on one spectrum, being weird can be considered something negative, but on the opposite spectrum, that uniqueness in you is the most beautiful thing. That weirdness that people are so scared to embrace, and actually turning and alchemizing that into your own beautiful uniqueness that you are. And it's about stepping into, here I am. Some people, when they look at me, they often tend to judge me for being maybe a slightly bit selfish, slightly bit rude. I am one of the most loving, kind people you will ever meet. So much love, but through people's own lenses, they see a different version of me. Don't be afraid to trigger some people. Some people, the more you step into your power, the more people are going to accuse you of things. You are the only person who will know the lens of which you speak, and let that be the driver of your highest timeline, because there is going to always be people who see through their lens, and you can't force them to see otherwise.